Hello! Hi everyone, it's me, Jennifer Stonehouse from Little Metal Foxes. Hi! I just wanted to do a little tool tip tonight about burnishers because I know that burnishers seem simple. Hey Chris, how are you? Hello! Hey there! Rata Handmade, how are you doing? Hello, hello! Hi everybody! Liz, hi, hello, welcome. Julie, hello. Chris, do you want to join me? I'm going to be talking about burnishers. If you do, yay. If not, no worries. Hi, how are you? So, yes, I've got some burnishing tips and tricks. I've got my purple punch from Lion Punch Forge, and some good things going on to show you guys today. And yeah, let's. Hi, Chris. Hi. Gonna join me? Here he comes. Hello. How are
What's going
you?
on? I'm in my mobile office.
I see that. How are you doing
Yeah,
tonight?
not too bad. Not too bad at all.
Great.
Busy,
I had a
busy,
great
busy,
time
busy
in your
day.
class. I had a great time in your class this Saturday. Thank
Oh,
you.
thank you.
I
Yeah,
got a
no,
lot of
we had
stuff
a lot of
done.
fun.
Yeah, I feel like I got a bunch of my hammers all cleaned up and looking good, and my oh my gosh, a couple of desk bench shambles as well. So that was fantastic. So thank you very much for teaching for us. We love
Oh yeah,
having you, of course. Yeah.
always a pleasure.
So yeah. So I've got a whole passel of burnishers
Oh,
that I usually use for stone setting and more, which is what I wanted to talk about today. So I've got in my handy dandy kit with all my burnishers and things, and of course I've got my Purple Heart Punch from Lion Punch Forge
nice.
because this is great. I love getting my bezels started with this. It's
Isn't it? It
yeah,
works well for hammer setting too,
yeah.
because it's hard enough that you can tap the end of it with like a rawhide hammer,
Hmm.
and you can dab with it. But burnishing is really, really nice, just because it's
It's hard enough.
yeah.
Yeah, it totally is. So I one of the other things that I really like a lot as far as a burnisher is concerned, I've got a couple of things that are a little unconventional. One of them is a folding bone, and this is usually find this in the paper making section of a lot of like crafting stores and bookmaking things. But it's basically they're made of cattle rib, but
Yeah.
they also make them out of other things as well. But it's usually bone, and they're referred to as bone folders because they're used for like scoring paper, and that so you can fold it really easily. But the
Yeah.
nice thing about these is that they are tough enough that if you're setting a bezel with fine silver or gold, um, those are both soft enough that they respond well to this. But this does not damage softer stones, which is really important.
Yeah,
So I like
absolutely.
using this for things that are like, malachite and very, tender,
Yeah.
tender babies, the tender baby
Tender
stones,
babies.
tender
That
babies.
that that rare occasion you want to set a calcite,
Yes,
fluorite,
yes, like that. Or like a
most of
really,
the ites.
yeah, and the ceramics and things like that I do sometimes. Yeah.
Yeah.
My other thing that I really like is my sticky stick. I've got a little sticky stick and it is
Mm,
just awesome. So I've got
do
a
you
little
use
bit.
cheese wax?
No, I actually have got microcrystalline wax on this, but cheese wax
Okay.
works really well, and the Kate Wolf Wicked Sticky is actually great as well. So I
I
really
use
like those. And Baby Bell.
the blue sticky tack is what I use too.
Oh yeah, yeah, that
Um,
works really
I'll
well.
use not on the level of burnishers, but I'll use the sticky tack to hold things while I'm using my pulse arc welder.
Hmm.
That way, I'm not burning my fingies.
Yeah, right. So this stick I've actually had with me for, oh God, probably 25 years, but it's I think I picked this up when I was down in Savannah still, but I love the shape of this, and it's just gotten kind of polished by hand over the many years. But
Nice.
because the ends, I use these as bezel pushers on
Okay.
these ends as well. So, but I really like the sticky stick. So if you have a
Hmm.
good stick, if you got a good stick and you're like, this feels good, I like this stick, put some
I've
sticky
got
stick
pet
on it.
rocks. Why not have
Yeah,
a pet stick?
Exactly. This is my favorite stick. So, but that and bone folder are a little unconventional as far as like the pushing things into place and setting things where you need them, but they work really well. The other thing that I love, and I've showed this to you, I'm sure, many times, is the Bill Dawson agate or carnelian burnisher.
Yeah.
And this is the handle on this is all hewn, beautiful handled wood. It's, you know, I love that it's bespoke. I love the lovely bespoke tool.
One of these
And
days I'll make one of those.
it's really lovely, isn't it? And this is
Yeah.
actually a carnelian bead. So these you
Really?
can usually, yeah. So the bead has like a hole in it, but it's glued with, I'm not sure what he used, maybe pitch or something like that, knowing Bill. But the collar fits on there just perfectly, and then, you know, nailed onto through the bead hole and then onto the handle. So, but
Nice.
it's just the way that that bead is shaped. It's just, you know, the right shape in your hand. It's just really
Yeah.
kind of nice to work with. So shout out to Bill Dawson. I love him. He is an awesome tool maker. And this I actually bought myself for my birthday a couple of years ago. But I do
Now,
love
do
that
you
one.
mostly use that for things like kombu?
I don't use this one for kombu. I use this mostly for setting stones that are jaspers and agates and other stones like that, because the carnelian is just super slick and beautiful, and it is never too hard to rub against the face of any of my stones. So I
Yeah.
know that I'm never going to scratch a stone with this. So that's awesome. Unless I'm doing something like malachite, which is when I use like the bone folder, because malachite scratches so easy. So
Yeah.
you have to be really careful with
Malachite,
that.
azurite,
Yeah,
even some turquoise.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, this is the one I use this and a couple of other tools that I've got for kombu.
Is
But
that more of a gray agate?
yeah, it's just actually I think it's like a Montana or
Okay.
Botswana agate. It's a yeah, this is one of the ones from Rio.
Oh,
So this one and this one that I keep a cork on, are both from Rio. And these are only about 18 bucks. They're not real expensive. So I really kind of like having the agate burnishers for different things, but these are fantastic. And you can actually buy agates from Amazon that are designed as burnishers. And this one I got in a 6-pack, and I've given a few away. But if you search for agate burnishers on Amazon, you'll find these beautiful agate burnishers like this. And I've seen agate, like carved agate knives and things like that. And I'm like, oh, well, those are helpful. And yeah, so if you have like the tip of one, you can mount this in an old paintbrush ferrule. And then you have one of those, right?
so question,
Here you go.
why am I not making those?
I don't know. Why aren't you making these, Chris? I mean,
It's a good
yeah.
question. It's a great
Agate
question.
burnishers are just, they're such a wonderful tool. And I love the fact that, you know, some of them fit in your hand, some of these were like large and small, but they're just beautiful, you know, as a stone, but they're beautiful as a tool, and it makes me want to use them more. So, because they feel good, and I know that they're going to work really well.
Well, I've got
The
a
thing,
ton of slabs.
oh, well,
So,
there you go.
I
Yeah.
mean, all I really need to do is just like
Yeah,
polish.
absolutely. Like this kind of shape, but like that thin.
Yeah.
You know, this with the curve to it, but thin.
Oh yeah.
That'd be really sweet. That'd be really
I'm
sweet.
sure I could get super creative with bending around and holding in your hand and
Yeah. I've seen some that are like they look like little sausages that are agate that are actually really kind of nice too, because they're you can really get your thumb, they fit people's like thumb, and you can burnish really well with them. But one of the things that a lot of people don't realize about burnishers is that they are hey Michelle, hey, from the Little League game, hello. I'm glad you're out and about, yay. So the burnishers that I really kind of like usually do have a little bit of a curve to them, and I always finish my burnishers when I get them. I don't ever assume that my burnishers are coming to me pre-finished, because a lot of times they're a little gritty or a little, you know, not quite shiny. So I always hit mine with the rouge or a little zam and get them all shined up, because that's one of the great things about the agate and the carnelian burnishers is that they're super shiny, and that's the surface you're going to get on your bezels. Now, I've got a bezel class coming up in the stone setting series on May 19th. So it's in about 2 weeks. But the other thing I wanted to show you about these, and I came at this as a printmaker. So for me, the burnishers in the printmaking world are for kind of erasing mistakes on the surface of your plate. And they're great for that. So they have things like scrapers and burnishers that if you have a scratch that you want to eradicate, the way that you do it is you take your scraper and you scrape away a little bit of metal, and then you take your burnisher and you burnish it down. So by burnishing it in the direction of the scrape and then going at it from a couple of different directions, it kind of blends that the high surfaces down to the level of the scratch, compresses it without having to like file and sand and try and do that to the surface of your metal. And it's great for, tight spaces especially. And favorite burnisher in the tight spaces, it's the stone setting that you've got, Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Michelle really loves hers because
Yeah.
she has a hard time with heavier items in her hand because of wrist problems or early carpal tunnel. And so I was able to make her a very, very light handle for hers. So. Right.
Mine is, I've got, this is one of my bezel pushers, and it's, teeny tiny, which I love. And I actually have, some of my burnishers are actually like little paper burnishing tools as well. I have found that a lot of my favorite tools that I use for metal actually have come from my experience with printmaking and working with plates and paper.
Well,
and
you're comfortable with those tools. So, like you were saying with the burnishing, burnishers are an excellent tool for erasing an accidental smudge with your engraver too.
Yeah, exactly right. So if you've got like a scratch with the engraver or a gouge or sanding line or a file line that you just are like, oh, and you can't get in there with sandpaper to fix it, you don't want to destroy like a big, like especially if it's got some texture and you need to get rid of something, without sanding all of that away, you can do that in a tight spot with a burnisher. So like I said, if you're going over the line in the same direction, and just working it down in the same direction and then switch direction slightly again, you can kind of rub it down and then use a silicone wheel to kind of smooth it right out and blend it out. Yep. And that works really well. So those are some of my favorite things to use that for. But the other thing is on edges. I really like to pay some attention to the edge of the pieces that gives it a little bit more visual weight when you hit the edge with a burnisher. So a lot of times people don't really think about these edges, or they'll shine them up and that looks great, but they may be a little waffly going down, and you can't really get anything like a rounded tool, like a tool from the rotary, world, like the flex shaft is going to kind of roll its way down like this. And by taking a burnisher and hitting it on the edge, you get a much flatter, cleaner shine, and it compresses the metal and makes it shinier rather than kind of rubbing the metal in an uneven wheel way. But I have found that if I get this braced just right, there we go, and taking the burnisher along the edge and just going back and forth, I can get a really high shine on this edge. And especially if I'm doing something like reticulated metal, kambu, all kinds of stuff, etched edges. But that suddenly I've got, you see that flash now?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And that's just from running it down a couple of times,
I bet you could take like an agate and cut like a V in it and then take that and use that as like an edge burnisher.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So I really like the burnishers for that really beautiful edge. It thickens it. It gives it a little visual weight. And but it's more than just kind of a stone setting tool. So just kind of doesn't take a whole lot of work to do it either. It's just hitting that edge a little bit, and look at that, right?
One thing you do have to be aware of is it's very similar to a method that you use in woodworking to sharpen your scraper. So burnishing down on the edge will actually kind of raise the a burr on either side of that plate too.
It can, but a lot of times I'll use like the rounded inside edge, and so when I run it down, I'll run it over the top and then sort of run it down this way. And so it compresses the metal down, and so it makes it really super smooth. And
you got like a profile too, right?
Yeah, right. Yeah. So it gives it a nice little bit of a curve, but by hitting this at an angle, like at a 45-degree angle, it compresses that edge with a little bit of a bevel. And I mean, so now I've got a contrast in finish that is just, gives it a little bit of a pop and a little bit more visual weight, right? Rather than that unfinished edge. So especially against texture, I really like it like that.
I bet it would look really cool if you did like a liver of sulfur finish and then did that to the edges only. So you have that kind of framed look of,
Yeah. So you can actually do the liver of sulfur, hit it with a 600 sandpaper really quick just to remove the liver of sulfur, and then burnish that edge, and it'll pop it right up. I mean, like, yeah. And it does it so fast. It doesn't take, a ton of work just to pop that edge up like that with a burnisher, rather than, the polishing tools that it's like you have to go through all the grits of sandpaper, then you have to go all the grits. It's like,
are you making fun of my class?
No. But I mean, for what you were doing, that makes perfect sense. You have to do it that way.
Yeah.
And but for when you're just trying to like on an edge that's already kind of cleaned up, when you can just hit it with a piece of steel or burnish it down, it's really quick. Oh, yeah. It's really quick.
Absolutely.
So yeah. Hey,
hey, Ron. There's all sorts of fun stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, anyway, those are my burnishers, and I've got lots of them. So we'll be doing the bezel setting class coming up on May 19th on, that's a Thursday evening from 6 to 8 Pacific time. However, I was asked today too, I've got a lot of alternative bezels that I wanted to show everybody too, that are really lovely bezels from Ryan that he sells on Etsy. And so there's those, and they're over there. And so I've got really lovely gallery wire I'm going to talk about, and making custom bezels as well. So we're going to be doing some pretty cool stuff.
Have you seen the side cutters that Dar Sheldon makes for wire? So it's a pancake die for wire, for bezel.
No.
So he has one. So like you can create your own design and then send it to him, and then you can. I think he was cutting like 16 gauge half round, and but he was cutting profiles, matching profiles all along it. So your half round or your triangle would have a cutout or a wave or something on it. So he's doing that now, which is really fun.
Oh, cool. Yeah. Well, and some of the things that I like to do, I mean, just, I don't want to get into all my tips and tricks for bezels this evening, but using, gallery wire and, creating your bezel wire can really change your work a lot. And there are lots and lots and lots of ways to do that. And everybody, and I've said this a million times, I'll say it again. Bezels are always taught in intro. It's supposed to be like this easy thing, but I really think it's a way to weed out the weak in the intro classes for a lot of instructors.
Yeah.
Because bezels are hard, and they don't have to be, but a lot of people don't know how to finish them properly, or, easy tricks to make them work. And I've seen a lot of simple things go very, very wrong because people have used things like dental floss, under the stones, and end up tearing their bezels and sending their stones, across the room and breaking things. And so,
I really like hammer setting.
Yeah, I do too, especially heavy bezels, because I do a lot of cast pieces as well. And we've got stone setting in wax coming up too this summer. So that'll be a little bit longer class, but a whole bunch of stone setting classes coming up, a whole bunch of using, like, adding gold, layering gold, which the burnishes are great for, and doing things that are just a lot of fun. So yeah.
We should do a burnisher giveaway.
Oh, you want to do that?
Yeah, let's do an antler burnisher.
An antler burnisher? Oh, where's my antler burnisher? I don't know what I have. Where is mine? I think Julia's. Did we send it back? Julie have it? I don't have it.
You shouldn't have.
Yeah, the antler burnisher. Do you want to do let's see, how many people are watching? 11 people are watching. Do you want to do it right now?
Might as well.
Okay. So let's say.
What I'm gonna. What's your suggestion?
I'll write down a number in a range, and then people can guess.
Okay.
Okay. So we've got, let's see, we've got about 15 people. So let's guess in between 20 and 60. And so if you guess a number between 20 and 60, starting in just a second.
Let's do two. Let's do a set of 5 purple punchers too.
A set of what?
A set of 5 purple punchers.
Oh, a set of purple punches too?
Yeah, let's do 2 giveaways.
Oops, wait. I turned you down instead of turning you up. Here we go. Say it again.
We'll do 2 numbers. Maybe let's keep the same range and do 2 numbers of a giveaway.
Okay, all right. So 2 giveaways. All right, and then the winner can DM you at Lion Punch Forge. So we'll have a winner here in just a second. So yes, all right. So if anybody is interested in getting a Antler Burnisher and Purple Heart Punch, yay! We'll do 2 of them, right? Are you doing the Purple Heart Punch and a Burnisher, or 2 sets?
I'll do. So you'll get one or the other, but we'll do two different.
2 giveaways. Okay. All right. So let's see. We'll do the 2 people that come closest to the number without going over. All right. So here you go. All right. So we're going to take, you get one guess only, and you get in the range between 20 and 60. Okay. So without going over, I'm going to write down a number. Let's see. All right. I've written down my number. Okay. So you ready? Set. Guess. You got a few minutes here. And I've got my number.
We'll let it run and see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We're keeping an eye on numbers. Yeah, you get one number between 20 and 60, and
too close without going over.
Yep, close without going over. Here we go. So the Purple Heart Punch are these that Chris makes out of Purple Heart wood. And these are great for burnishing, pushing, and hammer setting. So those are those.
You can also modify them and sharpen them down so that you have a smaller burnisher.
Right, exactly. I love these things. And the other thing is the Antler Burnisher that is a very bespoke, beautiful antler tip with the knob on the end that are antique vintage knobs. They're beautiful.
Vintage knobs.
So
I like those for setting tools because they fit in the palm of your hand, and they are supported by your bone structure. Right. And you're not trying to like chicken wing a burnisher up over here but you've got all that nice bone structure behind your pushing and your burnishing.
Right. Here we go. Okay. So, all right. And I'm going to call, if anybody's got any last minute guesses, shoot your number between 20 and 60. One guess only. Have we got everybody's guesses in?
I think so. We stopped getting numbers.
Stopped getting numbers? Okay. All right, here we go. So my number is 47, and that means, I think, Brent, Smart Jaw, 46.
Okay.
Yes, is the closest.
Who's our number 2?
And number 2 is Tethered Treasures Jewelry, and at 44. So yeah,
Done.
Smart Jaw and Tethered Treasures Jewelry, you're our two lucky winners. So if you want to DM Chris at Lion Punch Forge, and I'll put it in the thing below after we're done here, so you can DM him.
TK guessed 48.
Oh, yeah, that's going over though. The two closest without going over.
Darn it.
Them's the rules.
TK, send me a DM anyway.
All right. You're such a softie.
I know. I hate it. No, I don't.
That's
I
awesome.
don't hate it.
It's awesome. It's awesome. So yeah, and I got to tell you, Smart Jaw's awesome. Was one of my students down in Savannah, and is an amazing metalsmith. And you two need to know each other anyway. So
nice.
Awesome. All right.
Very cool.
So you guys DM Chris. And congratulations on that. Burnishers for everyone, seems like. So, congratulations. Yay. Thanks, Chris. That was really sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
All right. There you go. So, class is coming up. Take a look and see what's going on. Also, too, if you are following Chris as well at Lion Punch Forge, and you are looking at taking some classes with Little Metal Foxes, Chris has an amazing discount code for a percentage off of our classes. So, what's your secret discount code?
Punch 10, Lion Punch 10 for a discount on Little Metal Foxes classes. It doesn't have to be one that I teach, but obviously I'd prefer that all of you join and come say hi and have some fun. But Lion Punch 10 will get you a bit of a discount on your class for Little Metal Foxes.
That's right. And we actually have a discount with Lion Punch Forge for tools as well.
Yes.
So, and if you go to our website, you can see
Metal
that there.
Foxes 10.
Metal Foxes 10. Right. So there you go. So mutual love. Pink.
Absolutely.
Yep. Absolutely. All right, you guys. Thanks so much. Have a great evening. And of course, you can see all of our other tool tips on YouTube or here on Instagram, of course. But we've got over 60 tool tips now on our YouTube channel. Check out Chris's YouTube channel as well. He's got amazing instructional videos and all kinds of great stuff. I love watching those. Random
stuff.
Random great information. So thank you guys very much. And go vote at Danica Design for Leah Works, because her ring is up today in the finals of the Battle of the Rings. So if you haven't voted on Battle of the Rings, head over to Danica Design and vote for Michelle at Leah Works. Her beautiful filigree ring is in the finals. So go vote, right? Okay. Yeah. Thanks, Chris. Have a great evening.
You're welcome. Hey, when you get done with that, loading up the, post for that, why don't you give me a FaceTime?
You bet. All right, we'll do.
All right.
We'll see you in a bit. All right, bye.
See you guys.